Shanti. Welcome to all of you. Thanks to those of you who are able to be here live, and also warm greetings to all of you joining on later on through the YouTube channel. Today is the 29th of July, 2023, and there's a system which I think might have started during COVID times, maybe before then, where the Brahmin family had the thought that we should have a global bhatti. And let me first of all break down the word bhatti. And the word bhatti means a furnace or a kiln. In my school, we used to have a pottery studio, and they had these very large ovens inside of them for baking the pottery, and that's called a bhatti. And so Baba has used this term in two ways usually. The first is to describe the times of the yajna in Karachi. And he sometimes calls that the bhatti. The daddies came into the bhatti. And he says that some bricks, they got baked well. And we know those daddies, they went around India and around the world and became the foundation for all of the centers everywhere. Then others, they didn't bake so well, so it wasn't a case that they could be a support for others, because you can't use a soft brick, can you? So the idea there is that the whole of our Brahmin study is a bhatti. We're becoming stronger. And then the second way that Baba uses the bhatti is specifically to do with our practice of yoga. And what Baba says is that it's a good idea to take the time to focus especially on your yoga. Brahma Baba was a big believer in retreats and giving yourself time. So it came in yesterday's Morally as well, but how he would want people to come in a 7 days bhatti, to take the course, to practice the meditation. Nowadays we use the word retreat, that's a more modern word, but he used to use this word, put them in a bhatti. And so he encourages us to do this for ourselves. It's useful to program that in, where you can take some time to just focus on your yoga, to focus on your study, away from your day-to-day. And then the global bhatti is an idea really that it's nice for all of the Brahmins to be thinking about the same thing on the same day. It creates unity. It creates this combined vibration that supports all of us and benefits the world. And so one of the things that's changed since COVID times is during lockdown, we could all just sit. And now everyone's back to their normal activities. So what we do in the global bhatti nowadays is just have a thought really and blend it in to our day-to-day routine. So most of today was really the focus on karma yoga. So all of us will practice our karma yoga today. I know you're within different time zones, so maybe you'll be hearing it at the end of the day. But of course, for Baba, it's every day, isn't it? Like, for Baba, every day is really a global bhatti. There was something that Sister Vedanti said in one of her classes that I tuned into when she was in the UK recently. She was saying that in her mind, the whole day is Amrit Vela, because Baba is giving us vibrations the whole day. And somewhere in the world, some Brahmins are having Amrit Vela in their time zone anyway. So we can tap in, if we have that awareness, that it's a bhatti for me the whole day. It helps to keep our focus. Now, I'm going to begin a meditation commentary for approximately 40 minutes, and then I'll invite the brothers and sisters here with me live, if any of them would like to share their experiences of the yoga. And I hope that this commentary gives you some stimulus to carry on practicing today, and also stimulates you to carry on practicing these concepts day by day. My experience is that my understanding of Shiv Baba continues to grow. And it's a combination of hearing the Murli each day and then taking those concepts and practicing yoga so that I experience those concepts. And today in the commentary, I'd like to focus the first half on the water qualities of Shiv Baba. Today's blessing really prepared us for this. On one side, Baba is the ocean. And in the first half of the commentary, we're going to think about Baba as the ocean and take ourselves into some of the experiences. So I've chosen 3 or 4, but there are more, and you can carry on churning on the qualities of the ocean. And I will move quite quickly from each one, whereas later in the day or another day, you might want to sit with each one much longer, or even dedicate a whole day or a week to that quality. Because as Baba said to us in the blessing this morning, ask yourself, have you experienced all of Shiv Baba's qualities? And then the second set of qualities that I'd like to focus on today is Shiv Baba as the sun and the qualities of fire. And again, I'll focus on 3 or 4, but you can carry on churning in your own time. What are the qualities of fire? And how do they apply to Shiv Baba? So wherever you are, I suggest sitting in front of a picture of Shiv Baba. And what you can do is, if you've got time and space, you can put yourself in that space where you're in solitude. If you're with people, then you're creating that inner solitude. And ultimately, we got to practice all the time, don't we? So it's okay wherever you are, whatever you're doing. But ideally, also take these concepts and give yourself time sitting in solitude, not just karma yoga, because we do need both. So once you've got yourself positioned where you're comfortable, I'm not going to play music because I find that during a Zoom call, the sound comes across in a very mixed way and often spoils the recording. But wherever you are, you may wish to play some music. I'll leave that up to you. And sit comfortably, or if you're doing karma yoga, just give yourself a few seconds to make sure your body is comfortable and balanced, and that you're centered and you're aware. Let's remind ourselves of our combined form. Yesterday, Baba was reminding us that it's Om Shanti. And he was explaining that the O in Om Shanti, in Om, is I, the soul. So I am the O, the zero. I am eternity. I am eternal. I am the spiritual. And the Ma in Om is the body, this organism that comes from nature. And the human being is the combination. But Om Shanti, Shanti means silent. So I am silent. My land is silent. My father is the ocean of silence. So take your mind out of this organism, out of this world of sound, and refamiliarize yourself with your original element. You, the soul, are made of stuff that matches the soul world. And this is an element of silence. And that can be very unusual for us because we have spent thousands of years thinking, speaking, and doing. And we have to become familiar and we have to become easy with just being silent. In this world, communication with the Supreme Soul is done through silence. It's done through vibration. There's an intuitive understanding. Baba said this morning, the Father is the flame for the Mass. So as we sit in this land of silence, we are automatically magnetized by Shiv Baba. I, the moth, I, the lover, just want to be with him. And the first set of qualities that I think about as I see Shiv Baba is the qualities of Shiv Baba as the ocean. Shiv Baba is a bindu, a point. And yet that point, that bindu, is a sindhu, an ocean. How can that be? Well, in the soul world, there isn't the matter and gravity of this universe. It's different stuff. So in this world, time and space are different. In our world, a point is very small. But in this world, point is an ocean. We have to break out of our mindsets of this world to understand Shiv Baba. So the first quality that we think about when we think of the ocean is Shiv Baba's ability to accommodate us. The ocean accommodates. Think how many things are thrown into the ocean. Think how many things live inside of the ocean. The ocean accommodates. So for Shiv Baba, he loves all of his children. He accommodates everyone. Shiv Baba said to us a few days ago, I love the flowers and I love the thorns. I accommodate. In Bhakti, the Shivalingam is the one idol where devotees offer poisonous flowers as well as fragrant flowers. To the other deities, they will only offer fragrant flowers because Shiv Baba accommodates. So I bring myself in front of this ocean of love. And this ocean of love is unconditional and embracing. Who is God? God is love. In his essence, Shiv Baba is love. He is the ocean of love. For him, compassion is normal. Forgiveness is easy. Understanding is intuitive. Because Shiv Baba, the ocean, accommodates. For him, difference is a positive. This is what makes up the tree. You cannot have every part of the tree the same. It is difference which makes the dramaturg. You cannot have everyone the same. Shiv Baba, the ocean, appreciates the diversity and accommodates it. He is proud of the variety. He is understanding of our journey. He knows that we're now in our Tamo Pradhan stage. He understands. He accommodates. Baba tells us that this love from the ocean of love is not just magic, but it is the Shiv mantra to merge in this compassion, in this forgiveness, in this acceptance is complete knowledge, complete understanding, complete wisdom. This love is the wisdom beyond knowledge. So let's spend a couple of minutes concentrating on this ocean of love, our Father, and merging into this ocean of love that accommodates us. The second quality of the ocean is depth. Let's think about Shiv now as the ocean of bliss. He is eternally blissful. He doesn't need a reason to be happy and cheerful. His happiness is self-generating. But this happiness also has level. And so as the ocean, he has depth. And this depth refers to levels of experience. We might just have some experience of happiness, of bliss, but then we shouldn't stop because there's another layer behind that one that we got to access. And then behind that is another layer. And behind that, another layer. And this is the depths of the ocean. We have to all aim to get to know the depths of God, the end of God, although there is no end, but we must go deep. So as we look at Shiv, the one who is eternally in that original bliss, it's as if we can see a smile in his energy. He is so satisfied, so content, so ecstatic. He has this supersensory joy. And we concentrate on that ocean of bliss. And we absorb that. And then as we concentrate, we try to go deep. So let's spend a few minutes practicing that. As we look at Shiv Baba as the ocean of bliss, it's as if the joy, the ecstasy, the cheerfulness is bubbling up from somewhere deeper. It's almost like calling to us, come deeper. Now let's move to a third quality of the ocean. Whenever you're at the seaside and you look across the ocean and you see how the ocean goes into the horizon and meets the sky, it changes your perspective, especially if you're living in a city where you've got big buildings everywhere. You often can't see much of a horizon. And it gives us calmness when we look at the ocean. You just see how unlimited everything is. It gives you that perspective and it gives you calmness. So this third quality, as we look at Shiv Baba, is of this calmness and perspective that Baba gives us. So as we remember Baba now, if there's anything in your mind that you wish to share with Baba, you can do so. Baba was talking this week about writing to Baba, keeping your communication with Baba. And so as the ocean, when you're sharing with the ocean, it gives you perspective. So try it now. If you don't have anything particularly as a problem in your mind, you just want to share news, you can just do that and present it to Baba. So it's very subtle thoughts, almost like we don't even need to speak because Baba knows. And just feel as if you are sharing with the ocean. And then see how that makes you feel and see what perspective it brings you. Now let's switch to remembering Shiv Baba as the sun. And as we have that thought, we can feel the change in Shiv Baba. He is the most powerful sun in these three worlds. And the sun has the qualities of fire. The first thing that fire does is it purifies. And we're very fortunate to have Shiv Baba in our lives to purify us. Because for so many centuries, we've been stumbling around, trying so many methods for purification and failing. But now we've got access to the sun, the purifier. So let's spend the next few minutes presenting ourselves in all our impurity in front of the sun. The sun purifies. I've got nothing to hide. I present myself with all of my alloy, with all of the rust, with all of the impurities, with all of the burdens. And I put myself in front of the sun and surrender. The next quality of the sun, of fire, is the ability to generate growth. All of the life on planet Earth is based on the energy of the sun. All of the continued growth is due to the sun. So the sun gives energy, and that energy enables growth. So like sunflowers, we sit and we face the sun, and we absorb the rays and allow ourselves to grow. Just as leaves transform the sunlight into sugar, into glucose, in the same way, we absorb Shiv Baba's energy and we turn it in to this energy inside of us of enthusiasm, this desire to change, this hope, this determination. So many qualities are empowered with them through this energy we gain from the sun, through these rays. So let's sit as sunflowers and absorb the rays of the sun of knowledge. Now let's focus upon a third quality of a sun, and that is the ability to spread light across huge distances. This morning in the blessing, Baba was saying to us that you are also becoming master sons of knowledge. You souls are also stars, and a star is a sun. Shiv Baba is, of course, the great sun, the giant sun. But we are also suns. And so we have this capacity to spread light as well. And so Shiv Baba is always spreading light through the three worlds. And as we sit with him now, we connect our rays with him, we absorb his rays, and then we generate the rays throughout the three worlds, throughout the universe. Those rays communicate Baba's silence, Baba's purity, Baba's love, and also our good wishes for everyone and everything. So in this meditation, we focused on 3 qualities of the ocean. Shiv Baba, the ocean, is unlimited and he is accommodating. Secondly, Shiv Baba, the ocean, he has depth to each quality, many levels and layers. Thirdly, Shiv Baba, the ocean, he gives us calmness and perspective. And then we focused on 3 qualities of Shiv Baba, the sun. He has the fire to purify us. Shiv Baba, the sun, gives us energy to grow. And Shiv Baba, the sun, is able to spread divine light throughout all 3 worlds. And so I hope that this is useful stimulus for all of you to work with and deepen your experiences with these things. But of course, there are many qualities of an ocean, many qualities of a sun. And so I would encourage you to churn and think about those others, and then take yourself into the experience of that, and then share that experience with others. So I'm going to say Om Shanti there for the yoga session. And for those of you who are with me in the Zoom room, if any of you would like to share your experience of the yoga practice we've just done, please feel welcome to do so. Thank you, Upali-ben. Upali-ben is just sharing in the chat that it was a wonderful experience with Baba Fogan. I think today everyone is more feeling the silence, aren't you? Wanting to absorb. Bika-ben, would you like to come in?
Yes. Om Shanti. It really was a wonderful experience. In particularly a first session with Baba being the ocean to accommodate. And for me, I think it was that I think I needed deeply to feel and to reinforce within my own self to be able to accommodate. Because there's recently been stuff that has been happening, and to have compassion. So to accommodate, walking through the experience and feeling Baba and being engulfed in Baba's the ocean. Normally in my meditation, I would feel, I don't know why, but sometimes in my meditation in Shiv Baba, not with Baba Dada, but with Shiv Baba, I always saw myself as light, but on the outskirts, not engulfed. And sometimes when I try to be engulfed with Baba, it's sometimes difficult for me. So it's not that I don't see Baba or feel Baba, but it's like there's a timidness that occurs with me that And I don't know if it's because in my normal life, I like to stay in the background, you know, it's service and all that. And I'm usually pushed always to the front, you know, as much as I want to be at the back. And it's like it's the same, even with Baba in my meditation. I visualize Baba and I see like he's there when I'm in a corner. And again, it wasn't as much this time, but it is still there. It is still there. So I don't know why I'm like that.
Yeah, a couple of really good points there, sister. So the point is that when we are not feeling certain qualities, we need to remember Baba those qualities. And then Baba charges us up with those qualities. And as we see it in Baba, it also empowers within us. So like you're saying, that we can lose our forgiveness, our compassion, our understanding, our accommodating. But if we just spend 15 minutes with Baba and just remember him with those qualities, it then empowers it within us. So this is how we should work with Baba. You're quite right. So this is what's known as the combined form. So sometimes brothers and sisters ask this question: what is the combined form? This is the combined. And in the combined form, we're not seeing that we got to have all the qualities, but we're saying that I got a companion with me who's got all. So he is making up for my deficiency. And this is why it'll be okay. And so that's quite right. That's good. And then the second one, I think you're right. I think it is, we have mindsets. And we bring those mindsets into our yoga with Baba as well. And one of the ones where it's like, you see, our qualities also become our weaknesses. So our qualities of being independent, that also leads us to losing our feeling that we got a right over something. And we lose that experience of being dependent in a sense. So even being absorbed by Baba, we're sort of letting go of ourselves and relying on him completely. And we're also this feeling, we've got to all relate to Baba as if we've got a right over him. And it's one thing where, I know you're an older Brahmin, but I would say it's one thing that is more of a challenge for the Brahmins now, because you've got to do it through your own yoga and in your own heart. Whereas even in my childhood, I had the opportunity more with Baba in the physical form. So I remember Brother Mike George saying once that it was good. It was like in the 1990s, Baba had stayed a little longer and he was very playful. He was joining in with lots of things. And he said, oh, it's like Baba of old. And I knew what he meant, because in the 1980s, when Baba would come, it didn't feel like he was very, very distant. It didn't feel like he's some teacher or some guru, but it was very much like a much more informal meeting, and informal with the daddies as well. So many, many years of Benji. And she didn't have any formality. It was just very much this feeling that you got it right. And now there's an effort in that, because that feather doesn't come into the physical to give us that experience, but it challenges us to create that through our yoga. And so I think this is something we all got to make sure we develop, that you are an heir. The moment that Baba has adopted you, you are an heir. You have a right over Baba. And no one can take that right away from you. If you don't need timid in your relationship with Baba, you got full rights to claim all of Baba's treasure. And if not now, then never. So we just got to do that and challenge our own mindsets, really, so that we are. And this was a quality I saw in all of the daddies. They not only were they in love with Baba, but they all felt they had a right over Baba. And so it's something which was very deeply instilled within all of that. And maybe because we experience Baba more as a teacher nowadays, we don't have so much physical interaction on a more informal level with him. Even the way we write the letters now is different, and we're gaining the answers through the morally, so it's different. I think we're probably relating to Baba a lot more as teacher and student. But we got to improve our feeling of being the heir. And we got all rights. Thank you, Sister.
You said it so accurately that my feeling has always been, that Baba has so much to do and his responsibility is so wide. Not that I'm limiting him, and he's serving so much. And I have always felt that having to ask has always been an issue. In my local life is one thing, but yeah, I really have brought it into my spiritual life as well, and asking Baba. And I think maybe it goes back to the early Murlis when I came into Gyan, and that some of those stuff stayed with me. Is that we are not beggars. Baba says we're no longer beggars. And I feel like going to Baba on that level and asking is that I'm still like a beggar. And I guess it really comes from my being independent, thinking I can do everything on my own. So I guess it really does impact on my spiritual life on that level. And that, because I don't want to burden Baba as well, and that not that you can do that, but it's so ingrained, and I really realize that I have to. I do depend on Baba, and I do feel Baba. It's not that I don't, but it's it's taken from Baba is what there's a blockage at most times, taken from Baba.
Yes, I understand, sister. I also have a similar personality. But this is why Baba says to us, have all relationships with Baba. And the one with the beloved, if you notice in the morning, Baba is always the male. He is always Ram, and we are Sita. And this is why we got to practice this one, because it forces us to being Sita, being the female, and relying on one Ram. And so in this one, he is forcing us. So in the Hindu marriages, the wife ties her sari into the back of the groom's clothes as well. And they're like committing that I will follow you. And then they go around the fire. And this is that sentiment that we're actually in that relationship. We are saying, yeah, I am dependent. I'm just going to rely on you to do this. So this is why it's all relationships with Baba. There are some where we got to be independent and we got to be the leader and we don't need to take. And then there are others where we are. And if we don't have all relationships, we won't have all attainment. But this is why we got to do it. Thank you. Yes, good point. And Ripali Ben was saying in the chat that she was feeling that the smiles in the children's heart makes Baba smile. That's nice, isn't it? So always smiling inside with ease, and the power of forgiving is giving. So nice points. Would anyone else like to share any experiences? Okay. I think today is a yoga day, so everyone is really just wanting to stay in that space. So thank you to all of you who joined. I also enjoyed the meditation commentary. But it put the thought in my head on Wednesday. I learned about the global bhakti actually just yesterday. But already since Wednesday, I'd had the thought that today we will do a yoga session. And so I was practicing these two things since Thursday. So this would be, I think, my parting message to all of you. And my experience is to have powerful bhaktis, you've got to have some preparation. So I've been practicing these two things for a few days before today. And so I would always say to all of you that, say, for example, you're going to take 2 hours to have a bhakti tomorrow, let's say, that today you prepare for the bhakti. And you might have different commentaries that you listen to. You might do different drills that Baba gives us. And it's that preparation. You might churn. But my experience is to prepare the mind creates good yoga. So Baba was preparing me for a few days. And then today the right commentary emerged. So I'm now going to work on these 6 qualities for the rest of today. And how I'm going to do it, at the moment it's 12:15 in the daytime here in the UK. And so I probably got something around about 9 hours, 10 hours left of the day. And so what I will do is every hour pick one. So for the first hour, I might do the accommodating one. And I always start with that one because as souls generally, we need a lot of love from Baba and acceptance from Baba. And Devi Janki used to always say, have Baba as your mother first, before you do any other relationships with Baba. So that's a good one to start with to get us into that right mindset. And then the next hour, I will practice the next one of depth. And then I will do that one. So, it's this thing of giving yourself a routine as well and creating a timetable. There's a couple of Morley's, maybe some of you have read them, and we can repeat them on the Saturdays. I remember one from about 1975, something like that, where Baba tells us important people, they keep a diary for their day, like every hour is planned. They don't have a spare hour. And Baba is saying, you are important people, you're important yogis for the world. And if you leave an hour spare, you're going to have waste thoughts and you're going to lose that hour of accumulation. But if you make a plan, that actually helps a lot. So this is how I'm going to do it today. I'm going to take myself through these 6, and then I'll just repeat again, go back around. And it just gives a focus for Baba and myself. That, okay, what should I focus upon? What am I meant to be doing this hour? So that can be another way, even if you're doing karma yoga and you're just in activities. Just having this is my hour of doing this while I'm doing the karma yoga. This helps to keep that internal focus. Then Shanti Malavan, she shared something in the chat. So wonderful and powerful thoughts for sharing. Thank you. Really resonated with the ocean of bliss and the Shiv mantra. So I'm sure, Malavan, you'll remember we read that Moli a few months ago. Again, we can repeat these Molis, they're always worth revisiting. And my recollection was that that was the 18th of January, 1994, I think. And Baba said, I come with trayfuls of diamonds and pearls of love to meet all of you children. And he was saying that by merging in the ocean of love, everything just happens like magic. It's like it takes you beyond yourself and your drama and your karmic accounts and your waste thoughts. So everything is sorted just by doing this. So he called it the Shiv mantra. So the most powerful mantra to solve anything is just to merge in the ocean of love. So there's a good reminder. And so again, let's experiment with that rather than trying to sort things out. Let's just merge in the ocean of love and see what happens in the drama. Sometimes it just impacts the drama without us saying anything or doing anything. Shanti Cecilia Ben, good to have you here. Yeah, Rampa Yogi, that's a great title for you. For those that don't know, the Rampa Yogi is the wonder, like the traveling yogi. And it's one of the titles that Baba gave to Devi Janki. And we saw that Devi Janki went everywhere, didn't she? She was the most traveled Devi. And Cicely Ben is like one of Devi Janki's army, I think. So Rampa Yogi. So thank you for the confirmation on Amrit Vela, yeah, from Sister Vivanti and the combined firm, yeah. That's right, you must be traveling through the different times. And there's also one thing that Vivanti Ben shared the last time she was in the UK a few months ago, which has helped me. It was linked with this thing of writing to Baba and talking to Baba. And when she left Africa in 1974, she actually met Avyat Bhabdaya and asked him, how will I communicate with him? How will I get answers? Because it was such like if you tried to post a letter in the 1970s between foreign countries and India, it would arrive there. You will arrive there before the letter arrives. You know what I mean? It was that type of postage in those days. So Baba said to her that when you sit at Amrit Vela, the first part of Amrit Vela, you shouldn't ask Baba anything because you probably have too many thoughts in your mind. And you've got to reach a point during your Amrit Vela where your mind is empty. And then when you reach that point of emptiness of all other thoughts, and you just got you and Baba, then ask Baba your question. And keep your mind still. And you'll get, and she said she gets a feeling that what she's got in. And her experience has been that when she's acted on that, she's had good success. So I thought that was useful as well. So as you wrote that, it reminded me. Thank you. And Linda Benham Shanti to you. So the master plan for this mind, the child, to keep my focus every hour with that, exactly. So it's very, very useful for us to have a structure. I'm sure you all remember your days at school. The good thing about being a child at school is we had our timetable, right? You didn't have to think. You just follow your timetable. And then your day is very rich, actually. If you think about the balance we have at school, like we have sports sessions and math sessions and English sessions and drama sessions, the curriculum is designed to give us a good balance and for us to enjoy ourselves as well. And as adults, we lose that balance, don't we? Our days become very much imbalanced in one way. So having a timetable is a very good thing for us to do in the morning. Cicely Ben, you've come on screen. Did you want to come in with anything?
No, I just wanted to show my face as you acknowledged me, but it's very nice to be here. And everything comes at the right time. When I saw that you was doing a bhatti, I said, I'm going to join in the bhatti today. So, and one of the questions, I saw the schedule for the bhatti and it says, how much do you want to be with the family? I want to be with the family. I do. I like being with the family. And that's very important. It's a part of Brahmin life to also be with the family. So any opportunity I get to be with the family, I take it.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Okay, well, thank you all, those of you that were able to join in and help to create this atmosphere. And also warm greetings to those of you joining in later on through the YouTube. And I hope that the commentary is useful for everyone going forward. And make your plans, and let's make the most of this weekend and have this Betty. And then next week, I'm going to do a bit of a preparation for Rakhi, I thought. So this thing about Betties is also linked with Rakhi. And we'll all be tying our Rakhi. So again, I think we need preparation for that tying of the Rakhi, not just to tie it. So let's work on that next week. So, Shanti, everyone. Shanti. Have a good week.
Shanti, Shanti,
Shanti.
Shanti.